The Jesus Trilogy, The Four Messiahs, Chapter 8, Part B. "Hi, Nancy. Come in." Mary was not expecting any visitors, but said politely, "Are you hungry, Nancy?" No, you go ahead and finish. We have plenty." Joseph now interrupted. "Mary, Nancy is going to watch the kids for a while we take care of that business. Shouldn't be more than a couple of hours, Nancy," Joseph said. Then to Mary, "Get your coat." "But the dishes," Mary objected. "I'll take care of them," Nancy reassured her. Joseph took Mary's hand and led her out the door and down the path. They turned onto the main road before Mary spoke. "What's this all about, Joseph? Come over to this bench," he said. He led her over to the bench that stood under the largest tree in town. They were on the edge of the town square, and the lamplight was dim, but it still allowed them to see one another's faces. Joseph knelt in front of her and took her hands. His own big, strong hands were shaking. She perceived it, but she said nothing, merely kept on staring into his dark eyes. "Mary, in a few short years that I've known you, I've always admired you, your beauty and your goodness and your femininity. But in the past few days it is as if my eyes were opened. You may not believe me, but I have come to love you. I can't explain it, but I know it's real. Mary, will you marry me?" Mary felt a little lightheaded, but recovered as Joseph tightened his grip to steady her. "Yes," she said, almost inaudibly, but he heard her. He reached up and kissed her. Tears were coursing down both their faces, but they were the happiest tears of all, the tears of true love. Their lips slowly eased apart. They were still staring into one another's eyes. "Joseph, I love you. Mary, I love you." Their eyes were still locked. "Mary, we must go. We haven't much time." "Time for what?" "Mary, the priest is waiting in the church. I spoke to him, and he said he will marry us in the church tonight. He took care of the license and agreed to keep it secret for the time being. I did tell him you were with child. He didn't ask any more questions. He goes back to Capernaum tomorrow." "I'm sorry this is such short notice." He was out of breath from this spiel and thought she would probably not agree to marriage so suddenly. "Wonderful," she said. Joseph couldn't believe his ears. His smile was even bigger now. "Tomorrow I can go visit Elizabeth," Mary said. "We must be going, Mary. The priest can't wait too long." She squeezed his hand, and off they went toward the church. "Do you take Mary to be your lawful wedded wife?" the priest asked. "I do." "Mary, do you take Joseph to be your lawful wedded husband?" "I do." "I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride." The church was empty. The young priest turned away. The kiss took a full minute. They then thanked the priest profusely. They knew he would keep things quiet, since he seemed to sense that there was more to this wedding than met the eye. When Mary and Joseph reached the church door, they waved. As they turned back, their eyes locked. "I have no diamond," he said regretfully. "God will provide," Mary said, shrugging it off. "There's one more thing, Joseph, darling. The scrolls say the mother of the Messiah is to be a virgin." "I know," he said. "Please hurry and deliver. I need you very much, and I you." As he stared into her beautiful brown eyes, he thought he detected a faint green glow. As they continued to stare, more love passed between them than any physical act could ever express.